Welcome back, everybody. All right, so in this tutorial we're going to make a printer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push scale on the z-axis, and we want to put scale, and we want to make this pretty small here, something like that. Now let's hop over to the wrench, and we're going to add in a modifier. This is going to be a bevel modifier, and maybe bring it up to 5 segments. I think that should be good. And we'll go ahead and push apply. And I think that's what we want here. We want just kind of the nice bevel here. Now you're going to see why I made this so small in just a second here. I'm going to push 7 on the numpad, and I'm going to push B to box select. The other thing you want to make sure that you're on is faces. You're on face select mode, B to box select, and what that does is that selects all the top faces here. Now I'm just going to simply move the arrow up here. Now this actually looks kind of like a cool box here. Now you'll notice that if we did this a different way here, okay, so actually I'll even show you the different way. So I'm just going to tab back into object mode. I'm going to create a cube. And I'm just going to move that cube over. I'm going to simply add in the bevel modifier, right, and put it up to 5. Apply. You can see that these are two different things right here. So we got what I wanted to have on this one was the top being completely flat. So that was the difference for that. And I know when you're taking these tutorials, things can look a little bit different. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to simply make a printer. It's not that hard. Let's go ahead and let's push, select the top face here, push E to extrude, right click, and scale that in something like that. Okay, we can move it back just a bit, and this is where the paper is going to go in. Now, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go back to our tools here, and we're going to have to go to loop cut, and what we'll do is we'll simply make a loop cut in the middle here, something like that. Okay, now let's hop back into face select mode, and what we'll do actually is we will extrude this just a bit here. So we're just going to extrude it just a bit, not too much, just a bit. And in here, this is actually going to be really simple, but the paper is going to go down into here. Okay, and how we do that here is we're just going to see if we move it down here. We need one more loop cut, and I'm just going to tab out of that and just go to loop cut, and I'm just going to go and do that here. Okay, add select again and simply move that down. There we go. That's exactly what I was looking for. And we can kind of move both of these back, something more like that. But yeah, so the paper is going to simply come out of there, which actually looks cool. So we needed to extrude that just to give that a little bit of an extra bit here. All right, let's hop over to the front here, and let's do a loop cut here. And we'll do one loop cut again. Loop cut. Okay, sometimes the loop cut a little bit finicky. So I'm just gonna loop cut again. I'm just gonna undo this here. So sometimes, even though Blender is open source and awesome, sometimes it is a little bit finicky. And I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do that here. Pretty simple. Let's do a couple other loop cuts, but this time on the vertical side. We'll just simply loop cut here, and we'll simply loop cut just like that. Okay, hop back into our face select mode, push E to extrude, and then I'm going to focus this on the Y axis. All right, and I'm just going to scale that in just a bit. So that's kind of like the printer tray. It's pretty simple stuff. Okay, and for the most part, we can actually kind of you know, that's pretty much how it. We can pretty much stop here if we really wanted to. If we really wanted to do some other stuff, let's go ahead and we could actually do something like this, where we take up, we kind of give it a little bit more look here. A lot of printers have on the bottom, for some reason, they have this, you know, this little kind of gap like that. We can go ahead and we can kind of we can kind of move that there if we really wanted to. For the most part, though, I don't really kind of do that. It looks cool, doesn't it? All right, there we go. And let's do that in the front too. So sometimes these little extra details make all the difference. Now, again, if this is printed just for background art, you definitely want to take this very lightly because no one's going to notice that small difference, although you as an artist will notice that. Okay, and if we really wanted to, make a couple of buttons or whatnot, we could go and simply just extrude these, focus them on the Z-axis, scale them, and there we go. We got some buttons there. Tab back in object mode, and look at that. We have a nice little printer. If we really wanted to go one step further, we could extrude this just a bit, and that way we got kind of a back there. Although I'm just going to undo that. If we just simply move it up instead, I think that looks a little bit better. Okay, there we go. I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.